Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa and we're going to talk about Overwatch because holy hell, I've got closed access beta, closed beta access closed beta, good god. I am a little bit excited because I have been waiting for this game for a while because I've been looking for a decent FPS to get behind, something which I can play and put a lot of effort into, a lot of time into I guess. It's always nice to get there when a game drops. However, Overwatch, you are not what I expected you to be at all. In fact, you are a completely different animal. So we remember when Overwatch was announced back at BlizzCon, and they touted it as if it was a casual FPS game. A game where, yeah, sure, if you were a particularly good FPS player, there was a class you could play. Maybe you play one of the twitchy-based damage-dealing classes. But maybe you're not so good at that. Maybe, okay, you can be a support class, in which case it won't matter as much, only it really does. This is not a casual game, guys. This is the thing this is the major surprise to me. This is not casual. This is it's extremely fast. It's almost like Unreal Tournament and Team Fortress 2 have had a baby and it's Overwatch and it's just dead quick. If you cannot, I mean, look at it this way, right? If you cannot acquire your targets, whether that's your team or the enemy fast, then you will die. You will not be able to function, and everybody can move rapidly. Even the slow moving characters, they can move about pretty quick, and it's so hectic, it's so crazily frantic. Oh my god. So I went into it expecting it to be really heavily focused on abilities, and while it may be considered that to some degree, the actual speed of target acquisition, that matters the most, because it doesn't matter if you've got all the abilities in the world. If you can't fire them at the targets that the enemy or your team, then you miss and you do nothing, and that is really bad. A movement, like I quickly mentioned before, most classes are extremely rapid. I mean, you can see gameplay footage in the background as me playing as Tracer, which I think when I first picked her up, I thought, okay, she's got funky mechanics. Maybe she's not the best character, but after playing her for a while, on defense, she is really good. She's so fast, and you can constantly keep poking away, and it's almost like you're a tank, because you're a dodge tank. You're not taking damage, you're jumping all over the place, you're drawing all the fire. Played well, she is an absolutely solid hero. It is ridiculous. But just look at how fast I'm moving around on the screen. You can't expect people who are not FPS players to do that. They will just get destroyed. And so, she would be completely... I mean, Kiri is the other guy on Unit Lost, and he admits he is not the best FPS player. He cannot play Tracer. Now, he's not terrible. He can play FPS games, but Tracer would destroy him. And there's a load of other heroes which move really quick as well. And but even saying that, just the basic aiming at the enemies and trying to shoot them is so quick because they're moving all over the place. Holy shit, it is ridiculous. I mean, granted, Tracer is the most extreme example of this, probably, because she does move all over pretty quick. But as I say, the other characters do move rapid. So what does this mean? Well, this means reflexes really matter. And they matter to the utmost degree. If you do not get your target selected, you do not fire at them, or you do not heal them, or you do not buff them in some capacity, there are abilities which auto-lock on, but they're not that frequent, and some of them tend to be ultimate abilities, like if you see, you will see later on in this clip, depending on where I've put it, because my video editing skills are amazing. My McCree ultimate, because that's what I call it, and I killed like half the team with like 2 seconds to go, and then, well, I think I killed most of the team actually, and there was 2 seconds to go, then we got the payload and moved it forward. That was ridiculous, but that ability auto-locks on. But there is a time, like you have to wait for it to lock on, and then you have to time your firing correctly, so you actually shoot them all in the head. It's like an auto headshot. I think Soldier as well, he gets I think he's Soldier 87, 78, whatever his name is, he gets a aimbot as well for his ultimate ability, which, used well, they can change the tide of the game, I suppose. But beyond that, everything else is reflex, fast, super reflex based, and I just did not expect that from Overwatch. So what does this mean? Well, it means that it really penalises lesser players, which I find really weird, because Blizzard are known for taking a genre, look at World of Warcraft, look at Hearthstone, and making it more accessible. Not dumbing it down, because that's not fair, but making it more accessible. Look at Hearthstone, look at Magic the Gathering. Look at World of Warcraft, look at EverQuest. The examples are there. Now, I was expecting that with Overwatch. I was really expecting them to make a game which was almost this sort of mashup between a MOBA and an FPS game, but a fairly slow FPS game with really high time to kill. So it takes you a lot of damage to kill the enemies. I think it's fairly medium. Okay, some people can be buffed up with shields and that can make them last longer and stuff, but then you change your target and all kinds of madness. But on the whole, I think it's a fairly medium time to kill. It's not super fast and it's not mega slow. If you kind of average it out, I guess it's kind of in the middle somewhere. But I was expecting it to be really high, to give people a chance to recover, pick up health packs and do stuff like that, but it really isn't. It really isn't. You've got the situation of, I mean, dare I compare it to League of Legends in this way, where you take a hero, so let's say you take Ashe. Fairly simple on the face of it. But once you start playing with her and then you get to understand her abilities, you get much better at the game. So the game becomes very skill-based from the player's perspective. If you can use your skills right, so if I can use Tracer correctly by jumping all over the place, throwing my sticky bomb, actually getting it stuck on people, which I seem to be terrible about, using my time rewind to jump back and jump all over again, while keeping spatially aware of what's going around me, because can you imagine how difficult this is? Tracer can jump all over the place and then rewind time back to where she came from, so you need to remember where you were before, so suddenly you can come around if you want to get behind somebody. You can see in the duel where I kill the other Tracer, it is ridiculous. It's like, what the shit? There's no way a casual FPS player could do that. I mean, again, Tracer is an extreme example, but it's pretty much the same across the board, I think. If you're slow, it's going to really hinder your performance in the game. And dare I say, you might not actually enjoy the game if you're really slow. But I'm not saying the game's bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the game's bad. The game is great. I'm having a great time playing this game. This is what I wanted. And I just didn't expect this to be the thing. I wanted a really rapid, high skill barrier FPS game. And that is what we've got. I'm afraid that is what we've got, and I really did not expect that coming out of Blizzard, because, you know, the game is really polished. You can tell they've done a fantastic job. The UI looks great. I know it's only closed beta at the moment. I said beta then. I've never said that before in my life. I usually say beta. Yeah, you can see they've done a good job, and things will be refined. As for the actual foundation of the game itself, I can't see that changing, because that would require changing the game completely. It's probably going to be small tweaks. Some heroes may be considered slightly OP, like Bastion seems to be really powerful, maybe a bit too powerful. Maybe McCree might be OP. In fact, is it Reaver or Reaper? I always forget his bloody name. The guy with 2 shotguns. He seems a bit over the top because he can teleport in and then just kill everybody, and he's immune, and it gets horrible, really. And then you end up shouting abuse at the monitor, like, you son of a bitch. So yeah. Let's wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen, because it's got a little bit ranty, but, well, not ranty, but a bit off the cuff, I think. This is my initial impressions after playing the beta for about 10 hours, and I expected the game to be a really high time to kill game, a really slow game, but not super slow, and very casual friendly, but it is not. It is a fast... It's like Unreal Tournament has had a baby with Team Fortress 2, and that is Overwatch. It's this team-focused, rapid, ultra-rapid, super fast FPS game, and I just did not expect that. And in my eyes, as somebody who's decent at FPS games, this is fantastic. This is like, it's not the holy grail, but this is like, holy shit, this is something I really wanted. Guys, I want to know what you think below. If you've been watching streams, if you've been in the beta, if you played the game, or you've been watching YouTube coverage of the game, I want to know what you think. Are you surprised, like me, that Blizzard have actually produced a game here which is not, on the face of it, casual friendly at all? In fact, it's almost, you know what this is like? It's almost like the StarCraft mentality, where you've got this game where if you go into Overwatch and you do not try your best or put all of your effort into it, you will get wrecked. It's very similar to StarCraft 2, where you go into that on the ladder, and if you're not on your game, you're going to die, because the other person is going to be on their game, because they cannot afford to lose. And it's like that. It very much feels like that, Overwatch does, and I just did not expect that at all. Anyway, guys, I've been Stylosa. This is Unit Lost. You can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming. If you enjoyed the video, then why not support us on Patreon? That would be beautiful, because as we all know, YouTube I don't use anything. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.
30 seconds remaining.
We must see this through to the end.
Peace and blessings be upon you.
Come get your armor.
10 seconds.
It's nearly over. Keep up our defense.
of the game.
I've got you in my sights.